are ready to start our reading. And for reading, we always start with our essential question. And this week, it is, in what ways are things alike? How are they different? So in our story today that we read, you are going to be looking for how things are alike or how they could be different. And this book has a lot of different things that you can group together in many different ways. So when we get to the story, look to see how things are alike and how they are different. And I do believe, if I remember right, your writing for this week is comparing yourself to a friend. If you pick a friend, how are you alike and how are you different? We have 2 words this week, and I was looking for my cards and I did not seem to find them at home, so I must have left them at school. But our first word is the word sort. And sort is to put things in groups with other things that are the same in some way. And we did quite a bit of sorting when we did math. Remember, I gave you a bunch of buttons and you had to sort your buttons. And some friends sorted the same way and some friends sorted differently. They might have sorted by color or by shape or by size or by buttonholes. There are many ways that we could sort things. And the other word is similar. When 2 things are similar, they are alike in some way. So those are our 2 vocabulary words for this week. Let's get right to our story. All kinds of families. This book is by Mary Ann Hoberman. What did she do? She wrote the words. What's the name of somebody who writes the words? The author. And the illustrator is by Mark Batawat, and he's the one that created the pictures. Do you think this story is going to be fiction or nonfiction? Only one way to find out. Let's read it. Families, families, all kinds of families. Families are people and animals too, but all sorts of other things fit into families too. Look all around and you'll see that they do. A knife and a fork and a spoon are a family. The stars and the sun and the moon are a family. The socks in the drawer and the rocks on the shore and the blocks on the floor, they all become families. Bottle caps, ginger snaps, buttons or rings. You can make families from all sorts of things. As soon as you're born, you're part of a family. As soon as you're born, you're a daughter or son. As soon as you're born, your family gets bigger. As soon as you're born, it is bigger by 1. Eggs in a carton can seem like a family. So can a loaf with its slices of bread. Celery stalks or a big bunch of carrots, they sleep in the fridge with a drawer for a bed. What other things can you find to make families? Pennies and card decks and marbles and jacks, ribbons and bobby pins, hair clips and thimbles, pencils and rulers and crayons and tacks. And you can see here in this picture, okay, they are grouping things because they are alike. So they're putting them in what they're calling a family. Bottle caps, ginger snaps, buttons, or rings. You can make families from all sorts of things. So here we have a yarn family, a leaf family. We have a marble family, a mug family, a shell family, glasses family. Clams in the sea make a clamily family. Lambs in the field make a lamely family. Jams in their jars make a jamily family. And yams in the cupboard a yamily family. Out in the yard you'll find dry twigs and branches, horse chestnuts, barberries, acorns, and cones. Down at the beach you'll find pebbles and seashells, soft-colored beach glass, and ocean-smooth stones. A saucer and cup can be brother and sister. A comb and a brush can be husband and wife. A plate and a bowl can be Mrs. and Mr., and so can the spoon on the fork or the knife. is a family of fingers. Your foot is a family of toes. As you get older, each family gets older, and as you keep growing, each family grows. Bottle caps, ginger snaps, buttons, or rings. You can make families from all sorts of things. You are the first baby born to your mother. Your mother's a mother because you are here. If you are the first baby born to your father's a father because you appear. If you are the second one born in your family, someone is a brother because you arrive, or someone's a sister and you are a sister or brother the moment that they are alive. You can make families from clay or from Play-Doh. You can make families from mud or from snow. You can make families from paper or cardboard. Make them from sticks or balloons that you blow. Spools are a family and tools are a family. And chalk for the blackboard at school are a family. 6 slices of cheese or a pod full of peas or a key ring with keys. They can all become families. Bottle caps, ginger snaps, buttons, or rings. You can make families from all sorts of things. You might say that numbers belong in a family, or alphabet letters, or notes in the scale. The colors and rainbows, the words in a language, the keys on a piano, or stamps for the mail. Inside or outside, in summer or winter, you can find families for so many games. Families to play with, spend most of the day with, telling them stories and giving them names. Bottle caps, ginger snaps, buttons, or rings. You can make families from all sorts of things. Make-believe families and families of people from long, long ago. Families like stepping stones crossing the water, leading to now, and the families you know. Everyone comes from a number of families. When you look backward, it looks like a tree. People from families make other new families. The more you go back, the more people you see. Have you ever heard about that? A family tree? Where you go back and you put down like yourself and your brothers and sisters and your mom and your dad and your grandmas and grandpas and your great-grandmas and your great-grandmas. It's a way to keep track of all the members of your family. Play families, real families, all kinds of families. Think of the families, the ones that you're from. Someday you'll grow up and you'll have a new family, and you'll be the family of families to come. All right, was my story fiction or nonfiction? This was a fiction story. It was just a story to entertain. Nonfiction, remember, is giving you information, and sometimes we call it an informational text, where it's giving you real information, and a lot of times it will use real pictures to go with it. So our story, All Kinds of Families, was a fiction story, a story that entertained us. And we learned that this word families is not just talking about people, it can also be talking about objects and grouping them together because they are alike in some way or similar. We can use that word, one of our vocabulary words. This week we have 2 new high frequency words. My first word is the word does. My next word is the word come. C-O-M-E, come. D-O-E-S, does. Remember, high frequency words, you have to memorize them. And you really want to be able to read them. You want to be able to read them off my flashcards, but also read them in books. And you want to be able to write them. So we have the word does, come. This week, we are learning about the last of our vowels, and that's the vowel E. And we want to work with the long sound with E. So remember, okay, the letter E, when it says its name, it's E, E, E. When it says the short sound says eh, eh, eh. But we're going to work with that long sound, E, E, E. And most of the time I tell you we're going to work with that E, consonant, and silent E. Well, there's some words that are written that way, but most of our words that we are going to see are written with this EA together or the EE together. So when you see that, you're going to make that long E sound. And here are some words. You can see this one has the EE together. So it's seed, seed. We have, this one has the EA together. Sneak, sneak. Eat, feet. P-E, pea. J-eep, jeep. F-e, free. T-eat, treat. Eat, meat. And we're back to seed. So these are the words that we're going to be working with, that long E sound this week. See you later.